Hey everybody, it's Carla.
And Cesar.
Welcome back to another episode of Carla and Cesar's Modern Life.
Episode 35.
35.
Hell yeah.
How's it going, honey?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I like your hat.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. We actually are almost sold out of the Rodrigo Show merch.
So. Nice. You sold out of the green ones already?
Yeah, the green ones are gone. And then we have a couple black hats and then like 2-3 shirts left.
Nice.
So, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Is it exciting to know that your guys' logo is out there in the world, like on people?
It's cool. Yeah. People wanted to get the merch. That was cool.
Yeah.
We're getting ready for the Halloween Fest, which is happening October 29th. That's next week, if this comes out Tuesday. So, next week. So it's going to be great. I'm excited for it, and you can get tickets for that at rodrigueshow.com. But how was your week?
It's been good. I've been working and trying to just get myself back into a consistent routine because I feel myself like just getting out of my good habits that I've like been working on building. And so I just need to get back on it just for myself, like for my own, like I feel so much better when I'm doing all those things for myself. And so yeah, that's where I'm at, just trying to catch up basically. Nice.
Did you do anything between last week and this week?
I went to a couple of your events.
Yeah.
Those were really cool. My favorite was, I don't even know, actually. They were both great on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Got to see you be on stage interviewing one of our friends, which I'll let you talk about more. And got to see Mondo DJing along with our other friend Taps. And so it was just cool to see everybody like doing what they love. And it was inspiring and just really fun.
Yeah. So the events that she's talking about is one of them was Taps, who's a friend of ours and he's been on the Rodrigo Show a few times, and he's a friend of Mondo's as well before that even. He was doing with some other people an event in downtown Santa Ana that was house music, and they invited Mondo to be the opener of that event, and so we got to like go and support him, and it was fun to like go and listen to that music at a venue that we hadn't been to before. And so that was Saturday.
That venue was cool.
Yeah. And so on Sunday, we went to my friend Eric Young, who's an artist in downtown Santa Ana. And he's actually, a really talented guy. He's been doing it for a while. He was going to finally release his debut album because up to now he's been doing mixtapes and then collaborative projects with other people. So it's not like his first album that he's been on, but it took his first and solo piece of work entirely. And so for that, he asked me, we had been... in June, he reached out to me and asked me if we could have a conversation about some of the stuff he's been through in the past couple of years, which was including falling off like a 7-story building, and surviving after the statistics for that. He told us that at the event was only 2% chance of survival. So he's been through some shit. And so he wanted to talk about that. And so we did like a recording of it, which wasn't like a podcast, it was just a recording of me and him talking about that stuff. And he used parts of that conversation in the album. So the album is called Sol, and it's out now on all streaming platforms by Eric Young. It's Eric, E-R-I-C-K, Young, Y-U-N-G. And the album Sol is S-O-L. He used pieces of our interview that we did in June on that album. And because, he fell off the building and there was parts of it he didn't 100% remember, I interviewed our friend Daniel James as well, and that's his best friend. So I got to hear the parts of the story that, that Eric couldn't remember because he was, unconscious. And it really paints a picture of like what he went through. And then the music itself, it's not related to the accident because he finished the album before. The accident was in 2019. He finished the album before.
That night, right?
That night, night that he finished it. It was October 16th, 2019. And then that's when he fell off the building. And so, where was I going with that? Yeah, so the subject matter of the songs don't really match with the accident, but it feels like you can feel the pain of it all, kind of, when you listen to it. So it was really cool to do that. And so he performed the album at in town Santa Ana, and then after that we had a Q&A where I kind of asked him. We had a similar conversation that we had in June, but it was in front of a live audience. And so he was able to like open up about everything that he was doing, including experimenting with like a lot of drugs, LSD and stuff like that. That kind of, it wasn't to make it clear, he wasn't like he was on LSD and he had a bad trip and that's why he fell off the building. There was a lot more to it, and so he dove into that, and I was really nervous because I've never done like a podcast like that in front of people, but you look around and you see people were invested in the story and they were supporting Eric, and I mean, and in section supporting me because I'm there to support him, so we're all helping each other out. So it felt pretty comfortable doing that.
Yeah, I feel like you rose up to the occasion and you did a good job.
Yeah, I think it was. Thank you. Yeah, I think it went really smoothly. I was like one of those. There's moments that I don't even. I play it back and I'm like, oh, I could have tweaked this and that, but overall, like it was good. So yeah, I just feel good that I got the opportunity to do that because I just want to be able to support people in my community to create cool things, and if that's like if me talking to him like helped him like have that conversation with, which he did. He told me at the time like up till now like. Up till in June, he had only talked to 1 or 2 other people about exactly what happened that night. So I just, felt like it was an honor and a privilege to be able to like be a part of that whole thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And to be included in the album too, like that's so cool.
Yeah, my voice is on there because we talked. So yeah, it just feels good to be able to, like I don't know. I feel like good is not a good enough word. Like it just. Like I just feel honored to be cemented in that project in that way. So check it out. I'll put a link in the description.
Shout out to AJ as well.
Yeah, he produced all of it. His friend that produced all of it with them. And the people that
sounds really good.
The people at the event. So what he did was the whole album is him solo, but he performed with 4 backup singers one of the songs, and it's the first song on the project. It's called "Melt Inside / Outside," and it was a great moment. Yeah.
It really was. It felt special for sure.
Yeah.
Like it felt it was like you said, like it was an honor to be there just to be able to like see that. And like I saw Eric had talked about it on his story leading up to the event. He had said like the people that come out to this event are going to understand the story like in a different light than somebody who's not there, because like we got to hear him in like his own words like explain. Like maybe people have been wondering this whole time, like what really happened, because at the time that the accident happened, it was like they were, like he said, like making connections with people, or like Daniel James said in the intro.
They were making waves. They were like on the in 2019. Like I would say, Eric Young was in the place where he was about to peak in terms of like not creativity, but like he was about to blow up, and so. In the sense that he was about to be successful. And I think at that point, because the group that he was in, 714, they were so like on top of everything and they were doing so many events. But one of the things go ahead.
I was just going to say it was like something interfered, like because of like the route that he was headed in. Yeah.
There was, and he talks about how there was a negative energy like coming over him and he could feel it. And it's like he was able to put in a word. Sometimes like people feel that way, but they can't really express it. And him, like the way he talked about it, I was like, yeah, we've all had a version of that, not necessarily to that extent, but it's relatable too.
Absolutely.
And the music itself too. The music itself is relatable because it's about heartbreak and going through it. But it was like the combination of like him like going through this problem in his relationship and then like having this like near death experience. That really changed his life, and so it's a hell of a story, and it's definitely worth checking out.
100%, yeah, highly recommend it. We might as well have just done the review of the album on here.
I mean, that was it. Oh, we should have done like a first reaction.
Yeah.
It was cool because throughout the process, like he played it for me, like in June, so I got to hear it before now October that's out, and so and there's people that along the way, as they worked on it, because he's been working on it for 5 years, there was like little pieces of it, and so everybody finally got to see like the final product, and his family was there too, and so it just felt good. So in those 2 events, in the Eric Young release show and then the Tech My House event, we were able to sell like most of the merch for the Rodriguez show. Yeah. So that's gonna help us with our Halloween show, like I said. But it just feels good to be on top of it. I mean, I go through ups and downs. Like sometimes I'm like, dang, I want more people to like see what we're doing. But then like yesterday with Eric Young, and then even on Saturday, it's like there's a lot of people that do it. So why? Like obviously I still want to grow the audience, but it's like I also need to appreciate like the audience that's already there, because they're really supportive, and it just feels good to be around people that like they see the work and they're like, hey, you're doing a good job. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I figured, like that it must have felt good to be able to like know that people fuck with you guys, and yeah, they want to support you. Super cool.
Yeah. So if you have not followed the Rodriguez Show, do so at the Rodriguez Show on Instagram.
And if you want to check out my plant page, you can follow me on my Instagram at Plant Parenthood OC, and we can talk about plants. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd love to help, and feel free to reach out to me.
Yeah. So else? and then you can follow me on Instagram at I am Cesar Rod, and then don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you can, and leave us a comment about what you think about anything that we talked about, right?
Yeah.
We're slowly building it. We've been consistent. We have not missed a week in 35 weeks. So almost there, almost to a year, I would say, in February. Dang.
I'd say we're due for another album review.
Oh, yeah. We got to do an album reaction. If you have an idea of something you want us to react to, hit us in the comments as well.
Yeah, so the shadow work that we have been working on this over the last few weeks has been letting your own light shine is a good way to put it. That's the name of the chapter. Just how we suppress like negative things that we don't like about ourselves. We also tend to do that with positive things, and it can be just as hard to reveal those things to ourselves. But one good way to do it is to figure out what it is that you admire or like about other people. And that can be one good way to figure out, like if you can't see yourself like digging into this, like whatever subpersonality you might need to access that would be appropriate for a certain situation. Like if you can't see yourself, for example, you can suppress like being or feeling beautiful or handsome or whatever. So this chapter was having to do a little bit with that. There were a lot of exercises that were kind of spread out because I think there were like 3 or 4 chapters to this part of like sections to this chapter, as opposed to the other ones have been like 2. There are plenty of exercises to choose from. She has a whole list of traits that we might not recognize in ourselves that we like project on others. So some of those things can be like healthy, beautiful, loved, inspiring, secure, brilliant, funny, sexy, lucky, bold, understanding, just to name a few. There's a long list though. So basically we're supposed to like recognize that we all possess all of these qualities, and the work is to unconceal and own all of them. Do you think that you have any qualities that you like, positive qualities that you've
concealed? I don't know. I mean, I feel like for a long time I didn't think that I was good looking or anything. Like I didn't have the confidence, and but I feel like now that I don't know, as you accept yourself more and start loving yourself more, that does come with like, okay, yeah, like I'm good looking enough for myself to feel like confident about it, so there's a lot of stuff where I didn't think I was that, or I didn't think I was talented in one aspect, and so I would like hide it because I was nervous to show it, or to be vulnerable, and then I would get positive feedback and be like, oh, why was I so scared to like show that part of me if it was so good, So yeah, there's been definitely moments in my life where I think it has to do with just covering it up because you're not confident enough to show it and you suppress it.
Yeah, that's great, honey. I think you're beautiful.
Thanks.
So for the exercises for this chapter at the very end, she leads up to it by saying that we have to be willing to let go of the reasons why we haven't made it in life, and we must allow the universe within to nourish us and love us. So basically, she talks about basically reparenting yourself and like know that like you've got yourself, like that's all you need. And she talks about how releasing anger often holds the key to opening our hearts. And when anger is released, it allows all our vital energy to flow through us. And some anger release work that she recommends is taking like a plastic bat and like hitting pillows like as hard as you can. And I guess you're supposed to think about like whatever it is that you are still holding on to. Because basically like holding on to anything, any sort of like regret, resentment, or anger, things like that, they're only blocking you from getting to where whatever it is that you're trying to attain or whatever.
Yeah.
So it can be different things for different people. So in this meditation, she takes you through like winding down to get to this place where you feel most at peace, like basically like in a Zen garden. And she asks you questions and you just journal about whatever comes up, and then you can elaborate on it later. So those questions were, what story have you created about who you really are that explains your life circumstances? Number 2 is, what resentments, old wounds, anger, and regret are you still carrying in your heart? Number 3, who in your life have you been unwilling to forgive? Number 4, what needs to happen for you to forgive yourself and others? And then number 5, write a short letter to anyone you need to forgive. So that was the first part. And then the second part of the exercise is write a forgiveness letter to yourself. Forgive yourself for all that you are and all that you are not, and for anything that is in your way of you embracing all of yourself and all of your light. So I think that's beautiful. I'll definitely be doing these exercises. I went through the meditation one time. I'll probably want to do it again and actually like write the short letters to people, and then
do you feel like there's
one to myself?
Do you still feel like there's people, you don't have to say who, but do you feel like there's people in your life that you still need to forgive?
Yes, I still find myself like getting frustrated with my dad. And like, well, obviously like no parent is perfect, and like I know that they did their best. Like things still like trigger me, like when he tries to like, for example, give me advice, and I'm just like, I hate being told what to do. And like if I feel like you're trying to tell me how to like live my life, like I just don't like that. But that's just like my projection, because like obviously he means well, and like it's just like something in me that like can still like annoy me, and that's how I know that I still am holding on to something. And I still need to like write that out. And like I think that's what the purpose of like handwriting it is that you like hold that in your body, and so by like
physically writing it,
it like breaks it up, and it helps you to like, you're not supposed to really think about what you want to say. It just let whatever comes to mind, like write that out. And that's what I hope to do.
Nice. Well, that's great. Yeah, the self shadow work journey continues. How much do we have left?
I think there's only one chapter left after this one.
Oh, dang.
We're almost there.
Almost there. So stay tuned. Did you have anything more you wanted to add?
No, not really. Just that I'm excited to do these exercises.
Yeah.
I've been really enjoying meditating lately, and I hope to continue doing that and like hopefully get more just better at it. Yeah.
All right, let's get into these scenarios. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
All right, I'll start with the first one.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for saying I don't want my niece to have the same name as me? I have an older sister, Julia. Julia is pregnant with her second child, and it's going to be a girl, and it's due any day now. Julia and her husband recently told me over text that they're going to name the baby my name, but spelled slightly differently. My name is Crystal, and they try to name the baby Crystal with a K. So her name is Crystal with a C, and they try to name the baby Crystal with a K. I thought it was strange, and I asked them why, and they just said they liked it. I wasn't sure how I felt about it, and after talking to a close friend, I decided I didn't really like this. I asked if they could make it a middle name, as the idea of sharing a first name with my niece made me uncomfortable. Julia told me to get over it and fuck off, which I thought was unwarranted. I said the situation is weird and I don't want my niece to basically have the same name as me. Julia got her parents involved and they told me to stop pestering Julia and just be happy for her. What?
That's funny.
Why would I don't understand the negatives of having your niece named after you. Like, why wouldn't you? Like, why is that a bad thing? It's not even named after you. It's they're not even naming after her.
No, I think that maybe it just like. I think maybe she just wants like the kid to be able to have her own identity and like her own name. And because Crystal, yeah, it looks different, but it sounds the same. So you're both gonna like look whenever somebody says Crystal.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I think that I understand. I wouldn't want somebody. I understand a middle name too.
You're not gonna see the person every day
all the time.
Like this Crystal, she's gonna go to school. And they're not going to know that they're not always going to know she has an aunt named Crystal. They're not going to be like, oh, you and your aunt. Like, she, in terms of identity, like, maybe at the family parties, they get mixed up. But how is that? Like, my cousins and uncle and my uncle are both named Ricardo. And it's like, I don't understand. Like, like it's not a big deal.
To you.
Yeah, I guess.
You don't know if they like it or not. Have you ever asked them?
No.
We've got to get them to call. Let's call them right now.
Ricardo, my uncle's going to be like, yeah, I feel uncomfortable naming my son after myself, even though he did it.
I've talked to a few people who have been named like me, like my dad's Carlos. And so that's why I'm Carla.
Yeah.
And my brother is Carlos. And so to me, I'd be like, if I had like an attachment to a different name, I might be willing to change my name just out of like wanting to have like my own name, like that's not attached to anybody else. Because I feel like some families might put a lot of pressure on you because they might say like, how could you do that to like our family name? I don't know. Like, I'm just like speculating. Like, there could be many reasons why you wouldn't want somebody to be named after you.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess so. But I also think that like she really doesn't have like a say in it, right? Like her.
I guess not.
Like they could name her Crystal and it'll be okay. I understand. Like you're saying,
but she's not a jerk for saying that. Just stating it, I guess.
Yeah, you can feel uncomfortable, but it's gonna happen whether you like it or not. Like, because it's like I understand the uncomfortability, but that's not really a reason to not do it for her parents. Like, unless they live together or something, maybe. But I feel like it's separate enough where it's like, yeah, like I understand, but what can you do?
That's true.
Julia's gonna do what she's gonna do.
It was really funny in the comments. Somebody was like, "Get a dog and name it Julia."
Oh, I'd be like, see, that's where I'd be like, okay, well, you named your dog after me. Like what?
I thought that was funny.
So we move on to the next one.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Would I be the asshole if I canceled my vacation ticket because my family wants me to share a room with my nieces? I'm 23 and I have been planning a family vacation with my older brother, who's 30, and his wife, and my two nieces, who are 4 and 2, and my parents. Everyone is paying for their own tickets. The vacation is booked for February. We hadn't discussed room arrangements before, but I knew the room we'd be staying in would have 3 bedrooms. So we discussed room arrangements yesterday, and my brother and parents just kind of assumed that I wouldn't mind sharing a room with my nieces, while my brother and his wife and my parents get their own rooms. I said I didn't want to share a room with them and said that they should be sleeping in my brother and sister-in-law's room since they're their parents. My parents called me dramatic and said that it's not a big deal and said that my nieces won't give me any trouble. I told them I don't care. They said I'm being a bad aunt and told me to grow up. I told them if I don't get my own room, I'll cancel my ticket, which would result in everyone else having to pay more or just find someone else to go in my place because we got a group discount with the resort. My brother said that I'm whiny. My brother said that I'm a whiny asshole and accused me of being a narcissist.
Question mark.
Question mark.
What do you think?
No, like, they're really like trying to get her to babysit without her agreeing to this. Like, that is so wrong. You are not the asshole.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's treating her like the little sister. Like the reason they're putting you in the room with the other kids because they don't take you seriously as an adult either. I feel like it's happening. Is like, I'll just put all
the kids' room.
The kids' room, and it's like, oh yeah, just figure it out. And it's like, no, they're your kids, dude. Like, get them their own room, or you're gonna share with them. Like, why is it?
Yeah, because 2 and 4 are young.
Yeah, and your sister didn't have those kids. You did, so take care of them.
Or like, if that's the case, like, hire a babysitter, you know, like, if you didn't want to be in charge of them.
That's ridiculous. Like,
because then she's not going to have any privacy. Like, if they need their mom, like, they're going to be coming into her room too.
Yeah.
So I do not think you would be the asshole if you canceled your vacation ticket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think so either. I think it's just dumb. You're not a narcissist. You just want your own space, and that's fair. Mm-hmm. Your brother is a narcissist. You're trying to get like some time off or whatever.
Yeah. Seriously. Or they could have like pitched in and like paid for her ticket too. If
she's gonna be in the room with the kids, because
that's the thing. It's her vacation too.
Yeah, and if you're gonna put the kids in, if you're gonna put your 2 kids in the room with her, then why should she have to pay for a ticket at all? If, like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like you're gonna need the room for the kids regardless. So maybe, like, it's not fair.
Yeah. So go on your own vacation and live it up.
Yep. Because your family's not taking you seriously as an adult. Yeah.
It's true.
All right. Last one. I'm an 18-year-old female, and my identical twin sister, who's also 18, obviously, have always had a tumultuous and competitive relationship. We always fought over everything, guys, clothes, friends, etc. But our relationship came to a halt a few weeks ago when a mutual friend of ours sent me a link to an OnlyFans profile with an attached message that said, "This you?" Confused, I clicked on the link and was shocked to discover that the profile belonged to my twin sister. The profile picture was very clearly a scantily clad image of her, and the username was my nickname that literally everyone in my life uses. I asked our friend about it, and he told me that he discovered the profile through Twitter and then subscribed to the profile, which included dozens of videos of her doing spicy things, to say the least, solo and with partners, all of which with her face showing. I was floored and in a fit of rage showed the profile to our parents. I mean, literally anyone who saw the profile that knows us would immediately assume it's me, considering she's basically going by my name. Our parents forced her to delete the profile, and she hasn't spoken to me since, claiming that I'm the one that ruined her main source of income, but also betrayed her trust. However, I think that she betrayed my trust by using my nickname. Am I the asshole?
Dang.
Oh
my goodness.
Yeah.
Isn't this identity theft?
Well, it's easy for it to be identity theft if you have the same face as somebody else, because you just have to change your name. And at first when I just read the first sentence, am I the asshole for showing my twin sister's OnlyFans to her parents? That's one thing, but using the name, like, that's basically you're impersonating her online. Yeah. And she knew what she was doing because she used the nickname that everybody uses for her sister. That's fucked up. Like, you can't even make up a name and be like, oh, it may look like me, but it's not me. Like, if you're trying to be anonymous about it.
Right.
What?
Yeah, that's messed up. And I feel like she owes you some money.
She does, because there's people that maybe, like, because it's like maybe people that knew, not like people that are subscribed to this person's page thought that she was the other girl. And there's not necessarily anything wrong with them thinking that, but it's wrong for her because she is not making any money off of it either.
And she didn't agree to it.
And people are probably thinking, like, I'm seeing her naked even though it's her sister, and that's just weird and not ethical, I think. So, yeah, it's fucked up. Oh my God.
So, yeah, maybe...
You were the asshole because your parents, I mean, that's... If you were going to involve somebody else...
That's true. Like, she was already the asshole to begin with for doing that to you, and then you just basically like had to reveal it to them, because that's probably what she figured was the only way she was going to stop, because she already like has not a great relationship with her. So I guess she figured like why bother if I already know that she's not going to do anything, like take it down or whatever.
Yeah, and it's not like okay, so you're 18, and with all fairness, like your parents can't really control that, but at the same time, like they can try to talk some sense into you because that's not fair to do to your sister. You know, it's not like we're not trying to say that OnlyFans is wrong. Like you have that choice to do that, but at the same time, like you can't be impersonating people. You know, like that's fucked up.
Exactly.
So yeah. That's crazy. So not the asshole, and you did what you had to do because, you know, somebody needs to be on your side.
Yeah. Or you can just let her keep doing it, but then she has to give you a cut because I'm just kidding.
All right.
Yeah, so that was it. That was a good variety.
Yeah, that was some good ones this week. All right, guys. Remember to follow us on Instagram. You can follow me at IamCesarRod. Where can they follow you?
On Instagram at CarlaRod89, and my plant page is Plant Parenthood OC.
Nice. And then, like I said, at The Rodriguez Show on Instagram for the other radio show that I do. We're also doing a Halloween event October 29th in Santa Ana, California. You can get tickets for that at rodriguezshow.com. And then if you want me to produce your podcast, I'm available Cesar Rod Podcast and video on Instagram. And that's it, guys. Remember to take care of yourself and each other.
Thank you for watching. Bye.